The Egyptian pyramids located in Giza are undoubtedly among the strangest and most awe-inspiring structures in the world. These ancient masterpieces, which have defied time and nature for thousands of years, still stand before us in all their grandeur. As you can imagine, for centuries many people have tried to uncover the mysteries behind these massive structures. Among them was one of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla. Although Nikola Tesla left this world without receiving the recognition he deserved, he managed to uncover terrifying truths about the pyramids. He has only relatively recently become a focus of public interest. The ideas underlying his work led to the invention of smartphones, wireless internet, alternating current, and many other technologies we use today. In addition to his unconventional ideas, Tesla stated that he was involved in a number of highly classified projects, including the Egyptian pyramids. His journey to uncover the secrets of the pyramids began when he was 20 years old, and even at that point, he decided to make this subject his greatest purpose in life. Composed of approximately 2.5 million stone blocks and weighing around 6 million tons, the Egyptian pyramids are mysterious and magnificent structures that attract visitors from all over the world. There is hardly anyone who does not know that these pyramids are filled with unsolved mysteries, especially the idea that they may have had the ability to generate power. Some of these secrets inspired Nikola Tesla's groundbreaking ideas and inventions. Many people believed that the pyramids were actually tombs for Egyptian pharaohs. But the fact that not a single mummy was found in any of them, and that all mummies were located in the Valley of the Kings, was surprising. Additionally, there are no native Egyptian inscriptions or artwork on the pyramids. These facts gave rise to a long unanswered question. Why would so many resources be spent to build such massive structures with no apparent purpose? Since we now know that they were neither tombs for Egyptian pharaohs nor structures built in honor of certain gods, we can return to Tesla. Nikola Tesla read many books about ancient structures and discovered that the pyramids contained an incredible amount of energy. At a time when electricity was still poorly understood, Tesla began to consider the possibility that some advanced technologies were hidden within the pyramids. Eventually, he became convinced that the pyramids derived their power from electromagnetism. According to him, the pyramids were constructed using a form of crystalline energy, and the chambers inside them may have been used to manipulate electromagnetic fields. In addition, he argued that materials such as the stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid possessed the ability to store energy obtained from the sun and the moon. For this reason, he suggested that the pyramid may have been designed to generate an energy field capable of supplying electricity to cities. In 1905, Tesla submitted a patent in the United States titled The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium. The patent outlined designs for a worldwide generator that would collect electrical energy by interacting with the ionosphere. Tesla viewed the Earth as a massive electrical generator with unlimited energy, rotating around two magnetic poles. Over time, he gave this triangular design the name Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid. Moreover, he believed that the source of energy lay not in the shape of the pyramids, but in their locations. For this reason, he decided to build the tower known as Wardenclyffe Tower, also referred to as the Tesla Tower. Colorado Springs, today known as Tesla's experimental station, was chosen as its site. He constructed it there after studying the pyramids and considering their location in relation to the planet's elliptical orbit around the equator. The construction of the tower was based on his theories about how the Earth could transmit signals. According to Tesla, the prototype would be able to send and receive unlimited data and energy from distances as far away as Paris. Unfortunately, Tesla's discovery and device were largely forgotten after his death in 1943. However, his work has survived to the present day. Academics and researchers have examined his theories about the power of the pyramids, and the ideas they produced have helped shed light on many of the mysteries surrounding the pyramids. What Tesla was trying to explain to us about the pyramids may seem somewhat complex, Perhaps he wanted us to understand the power of something far older than we realize. Who knows? To clarify things a bit, we can look at Tesla's ideas about numbers. According to Tesla, the numbers 3, 6, and 9 form a great key to the universe, which is why they held immense importance for him. Tesla argued that many patterns in the universe, galaxies, star formations, evolution, and nearly all systems emerge naturally. Some believe that his obsession with the numbers 3, 6, and 9 influenced his preference for pyramid shapes and certain fundamental mathematical laws. Tesla, however, believed that these numbers were the core figures of the universe's mathematical language, and for this reason, he would not do anything that was not related to the number 3 or its multiples. For example, before entering a building, he would walk around it 3 times. He stayed in hotels whose number of floors and rooms were divisible by 3. At the New Yorker Hotel in New York, he lived on the 33rd floor in room number 3327. Mathematically, 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 7 equals 15, which is divisible by 3, so the hotel was suitable for him. He slept for approximately 3 hours each night. Before using his cutlery and plates, he polished them with 18 napkins. He made decisions in groups of 3, and no matter what calculations he made about the things around him, he ensured that the results were divisible by 3. These results formed the basis of his choices and decisions. So what was Tesla trying to tell us with his obsession with the numbers 3, 6, and 9? We know that mathematics is a universal language and that its laws apply to everyone on Earth. Tesla believed that his understanding of this universal language could help us comprehend the power of the pyramids and their significance for our planet. These theories encouraged us to look beyond the physical shape of the pyramid and to explore its spiritual and energy-related properties. For example, in vortex mathematics, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals 8, 8 plus 8 equals 16, 16 plus 16 equals 32, and 32 plus 32 equals 64. You may notice that the numerical pattern cycles only through 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5. Although these numbers repeat within themselves, 3, 6, and 9 do not follow this pattern. Ancient people who recognized these patterns in nature adapted them into their constructions. Can we say that Nikola Tesla, by referencing the Great Pyramids, was trying to tell us certain truths? Let's go a little deeper and examine the reasons why. The dimensions of the pyramid are aligned with the compass, with a level of precision that could only be achieved using modern engineering. The Great Pyramid weighs 6 million tons and is composed of approximately 2.5 million stone blocks. It is 146 meters tall and covers an area of over 53,000 square meters. Aligning such a structure perfectly to true north requires an almost impossible degree of precision. This is because the pyramid's base is level within 3/4 of 2.5 centimeters. Each side of the pyramid is over 230 meters long, with a margin of error of only about 5 centimeters per side. Interestingly, the pyramids do not have 4 perfectly flat sides. Each face is slightly concave, something you can only notice when viewing it directly or by observing the shadows it casts during the equinoxes. Whoever built the pyramids had an exceptionally accurate understanding of the size of the Earth. If you multiply the pyramid's height of 146 meters by 43,200, you will find that the result comes within about 17 kilometers of the Earth's polar radius, an accuracy of roughly 99%. Likewise, if you multiply the Great Pyramid's base perimeter of 921 meters by 43,200, you obtain a figure remarkably close to the Earth's equatorial circumference. Although the Great Pyramid is aligned with the cardinal directions north, south, east, and west, a margin of error of about 5% can be observed. However, considering that its builders lived in what is often described as a dark age, this can be regarded as relatively insignificant. This leads us to a new question. How did ancient people possess such detailed knowledge of the planet's dimensions? As mysterious as it may seem, it is a well-known fact that people in ancient times placed great importance on the equinoxes. An equinox is when day and night are of equal length. On an equinox, both day and night last 43,200 seconds. However, many skeptics view the connection between the equinox and the size of the Earth as mere coincidence. On the other hand, according to engineer Glenn Dash, the Egyptians could not have used the North Star to align the pyramids. He believed that in order to achieve such precise alignment, they must have used the autumn equinox. Previously, the use of equinox measurements as a possible alignment method had been overlooked because it was thought that alignment calculations did not require such high precision. Dash decided to conduct an experiment and discovered that, among other methods, the autumn equinox could indeed have been used. So, what did all of this mean? How could the pyramids function as sources of energy? The pyramids were built from limestone and other materials transported from great distances, and each stone was placed so tightly that it is impossible to find any gaps between them. For example, the stones at the top were cut from a quarry located approximately 800 kilometers away and then transported to the site. The exterior of the Great Pyramid was made of electrically insulating materials, specifically white Tura-type limestone, which does not contain magnesium. The interior sections and chambers, on the other hand, were constructed from electrically conductive materials, making it possible to control the release of energy within the pyramid. Additionally, the blocks used in the inner sections were made from another form of limestone containing small amounts of crystal and metal. Crystals and metals allow for maximum power transmission. It is also worth noting that Tesla stated that his tower operated on the same principles as the pyramids.
Now let's briefly cover some basic concepts. There are several elements that allow wireless power to function. These include the sun, water beneath the tower or pyramid, and the height at which the tower must be positioned to allow energy to spread. The apex of the pyramids was made of gold, an excellent electrical conductor, and at its center was granite, which served as an energy receiver and transmitter. When all of these elements came together, wireless energy was produced. In a study conducted in 2018, scientists sought to determine how the pyramid could focus energy. The research team used radio waves at different frequencies to see whether the pyramid would respond to specific electromagnetic waves. They discovered that the pyramid concentrated electromagnetic energy within its internal chambers and beneath its base. According to the scientists, radio waves with wavelengths ranging from 200 to 600 meters can cause resonance, with the effect becoming stronger as the wavelength approaches 200 meters. All of this brings us back to the question of the source of this energy, and ultimately, back to Tesla. Wardenclyffe Tower was built on a well that discharged negative ions toward the top of the tower. The structure had copper and iron rods extending downward into the water. Tesla intended to draw energy from the ionosphere and transmit it through vibrations across the Earth so that other receivers could detect and use it. The same principle applied to the Great Pyramid. The pyramid was also built on an aquifer, an ancient underground water channel. In recent times, copper pipes and iron rods have been discovered there. The Nile River flowed very close to the pyramids, creating an electrical current beneath them. This electricity would then pass through the granite stones inside the pyramid and move toward the capstone at the top. This relates to what is known as piezoelectricity, which is the electrical energy that can be generated from natural physical movements, such as flowing rivers, ground movement, or even simple actions like walking. Water flowed into the chambers at the base, and then out again, creating pressure that caused the pyramid to vibrate. These vibrations then traveled at a specific frequency to the king's chamber. In other words, the king's chamber consisted of devices that vibrated with the Earth's energies, and then converted them into electromagnetic energy. Tesla's wireless power transmission system, just like the pyramids, relied on the vibration of the Earth. Moreover,
The energy produced by the tower would have been unlimited and clean. Unfortunately, the tower was destroyed. In addition to the tower, evidence was also found suggesting that the Great Pyramid may have been burned from the inside. Traces of hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid were found on the southern side, while zinc oxide and ammonium chloride were discovered on the northern side. When these chemicals are present in the same environment, they can produce hydrogen. If ammonium chloride is combined with sulfuric acid, an explosion can occur. Considering the structure of the pyramid, it is believed that such an explosion could have been controlled. In 2001, burn marks were found at the base of the pyramid. Cracks were also discovered in the granite beams on the southeast ceiling of the king's chamber. Egyptologists stated that these cracks were caused by an earthquake. However, it was later noticed that the damage occurred only in areas where highly compressed hydrogen flow would have existed within the pyramid. Additionally, the walls of the king's chamber appeared to have separated from the floor and bulged outward. Similar damage was observed on the steps, partitions, and other parts of the interior. All of this pointed to an explosion. At first, it was thought that an earthquake had caused the explosion, but engineer Christopher Dunn rejected this idea and suggested that a disaster may have occurred in which the pyramid was actively eroded, functioning like a power plant. However, it is also known that the ancient Egyptians were meticulous record keepers, and no records of any such disaster during the pyramid's construction have been found. Dunn therefore suggested that the event may have occurred thousands of years ago. Still, this theory has not yet been fully confirmed. In conclusion, Tesla was right. These significant sites reveal evidence of electromagnetic energy. Even in those ancient times, people used energy from the ionosphere to create technologies that we can only imagine today. Just think about how clean, renewable energy could make life safer for humanity. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.